told my colleagues today, my heart broke when I watched a little child in Gaza who is one of 1,000 children who lost their limbs up till now, asking his father, the 5-year-old baby asks his father, he lost both hands, and he was asking his father, will my hands grow up again when I grow up? That is the suffering of thousands of children, 17,000 orphans up till now in Gaza because of this terrible Israeli crime. 7th of October was not the beginning of history. We have been suffering from ethnic cleansing since 76 years, since 1948, when Israel committed the first Nakba, and it is now committing the second Nakba. 57 years of military Israeli occupation, the longest in modern history, and the worst system of apartheid. I used to say apartheid in Palestine was like apartheid in South Africa, but you, the South African friends and comrades, told me when you came to Palestine, no, this is a much worse apartheid than what prevailed in South Africa. That is the reality of today. And we all remember, Israelis don't understand why South Africa is with us. They forgot that when they were supporting the apartheid system here, doing nuclear experiments with the apartheid regime here, when the prime minister of the apartheid system said in 1963, Israel is like South Africa, is also an apartheid state. They forgot that. They forgot that while they were supporting apartheid here in South Africa, our revolutionaries in the Palestinian Revolution were supporting the fighters of the ANC for the freedom of South Africa. I just came today from Palestine, carrying in my heart and in my mind the story of Gaza and the suffering of the people, the story of Palestine, about which Nelson Mandela said before anybody else that it is the most important moral issue of our time. Palestine is suffering today from the most terrible atrocity. 3 war crimes are taking place at the same time in parallel. The war crime of genocide, the war crime of ethnic cleansing, the war crime of collective punishment. And the results are shocking. 37,000 people killed so far, including those who are under the rubble that nobody can get to. 73,000 injured people. 700,000 people at this time are suffering from starvation in the north of Gaza. 1 million people are now sick of different diseases because of the siege, lack of water, lack of food. Israel is killing us with bombardment, with starvation, and also with diseases. They have thrown on us American bombs, the largest air bridge ever organized in the Middle East for Israel by the United States of America. 70,000 tons of explosives thrown on that little place that is Gaza, which is not larger than 140 square miles. 70,000 tons of explosives. That is more than double both nuclear bombs thrown on Nagasaki and Hiroshima during the Second World War. It is 30 kilograms of explosives for each man, woman, and child in Gaza. Today is the International Women's Day, and I congratulate all women here on this day. But on this day, 50,000 pregnant women in Gaza cannot find a safe place to give birth in. 64,000 breastfeeding women cannot feed their babies because they are hungry. They don't have food. 350,000 girls and women are starving now in the north of Gaza because of this terrible Israeli crime. My heart, I told my colleagues,